A malfunctioning thyroid can affect many aspects of your health. It can cause exhaustion, severe weight fluctuation, depression, a serious depletion of energy and many other symptoms, all of which may occur without you ever knowing why.
Bree Amur and Claire Hooper have both been affected by this surprisingly common illness, and we're interrupting their feast at the Australian Thyroid Foundation's big breakfast in Sydney. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming to visit us here.
Gee, they're lining up behind you. It must be a good breakfast.
Oh, absolutely. It's been chockers all morning, actually. We're just giving away free egg and bacon burgers and obviously trying to sell a few of these little gold bows and get some donations as well for the Thyroid Foundation, and it's been really successful.
Let's talk about the significance of the bow. Why is the bow, why are we talking about the bow?
Well, because it's the shape of the thyroid gland. It just sits here like a little bow tie. Although in the case of me, and I don't know about you, Bree, it was quite a swollen and soccer ball sized.
Yours is like one of those clown sized bow ties.
Why?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, an inflatable one.
What happened?
My thyroid just went wrong. It just started growing. And so we both had really different experiences, but it's all called thyroid disease. But yeah, mine's really never been fully explained.
Claire, we're just watching some pictures of you, and you can clearly see that there's that enlargement in your neck. You knew that it was there, didn't you?
Yes. I noticed it in about 2002, and I went and saw a thyroid specialist. I went to a doctor and I went, I'm just coming about my goiter, because I was joking and using a funny word, and he went, yes, that is a goiter, which was just really appalling.
Isn't that the worst word
ever?
ever?
Such an ugly word. So I had a goiter, because I'm 60 years old. And I put it off. He said that there might be damage to the voice and that it was a really dangerous operation, so I just put it off for 5 years.
That's actually the really scary thing, which was the main worry with me as well when I finally did have my surgery as well. You've got a 10% chance, I think it is, of permanently damage your vocal cords. And for people who work in TV, radio and stand-up comedy, it's really not, a great thought.
Bree, there's an interesting story behind your condition, because somebody recognised it from an appearance of you on the television.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was doing Friday Night Live, part of the Big Brother franchise, I had a doctor from Wollongong get in touch with me. He actually spent 12 months trying to get in touch with me to tell me that I had something wrong. And it was because I had an 1.5 inch tumour in my throat, which you could only see when I turned my head. And because I worked on a panel and the boys were always on my right-hand side, I couldn't see it because you don't look in the mirror like that. But he finally got in touch with me, and it turned out to be thyroid cancer. So I've had a couple of surgeries and a bit of radioactive iodine treatment, and I'm all good now, thanks to one very observant doctor.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to meet him? Or thank him?
I have. I took him... Yes, but how do you say thank you for something like that?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I took him out to dinner. I went down to Wollongong and met up with him. I've met up with him a couple of times and had a lot of phone calls and a few tears.
Look, let's talk about the disease. How common is it? Why does it occur? Who's affected?
Well, actually, thyroid disease has risen in the last 10 years, 85% in women and 40% in men. What? So it's becoming, the statistics are dramatically increasing, which is why we're going to such efforts to try and, raise awareness about iodine deficiency and iodine in thyroid disease,
Yeah, for a number of reasons, some unknown. Australia is an iodine-deficient country now. We just don't have it in our diets, and people are cutting salt out, which means they're not getting it through salt. But next year, one of the interesting things is next year legislation has been passed that all bread makers have to include iodised salt, so that everyone's getting it. Yeah, which is really interesting.
There's a couple of salts on the market that you can get. There's now a sea salt and a table salt that include iodine. So you really should be including that in your diet.
All right. And also, am I right in saying menopausal women are more at risk as well?
Yes, absolutely, because the hormonal kind of cycles of the body become a little sluggish. So the thyroid can actually, if a person is predisposed in any way or slightly iodine deficient, then that's a time of the life where they're really highly at risk of becoming hypothyroid.
And also the major factor that we're trying to push at the moment is pregnant women and breastfeeding women. Before you decide to get pregnant, while you're pregnant and while you're breastfeeding, having your iodine levels checked, because it can actually affect brain development in children and can lower their IQ.
And also new mums, I know, when I went to the doctor after having my kids, the doctor straight away did a blood test, because I was tired, and she said that it's really not uncommon at all for women who've just had babies to have some thyroid issues.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen so many pregnant women whose thyroids swell up, who get undiagnosed whilst pregnant because, you know, your body kind of goes haywire when you're pregnant, and it absolutely brings to the forefront the symptoms, which, you know, some people actually have no symptoms at all, and that's why it's so important to get tested.
So what would be some of the common symptoms?
Well, it can go either way. You can either have a slow or a fast thyroid, and if you're hypothyroid, it means that you have less hormone. You might feel tired and sluggish and listless and have trouble concentrating. If your thyroid is overactive, hypothyroid, then you might feel nervous and irritable, have trouble sleeping, be very temperature sensitive. I know that was me. I was a little more hyper.
Yeah, and if you're overactive, you can lose a lot of weight, and if you're underactive, you can put on a lot of weight because your thyroid actually controls your metabolism. So that's one huge symptom. The one thing that was misdiagnosed with me was I actually was having trouble breathing, taking a deep breath. I went to the doctor and they told me I was asthmatic. But it was actually the fact that I had an 1.5-inch tumour pressing on my windpipe. Yeah. There's a few different things.
Girls, what happens, because you've both had your thyroid removed, is that correct? And so what then happens to that very important naturally occurring substance in the body, thyroxine?
Well, I take a thyroxine, it's actually called, supplement every day, which is, you know, the hormones, the iodine, everything that you need. So I'm on that medication for the rest of my life. But you've still got your thyroid, haven't you?
I'm so lucky. I've met a marvellous surgeon who took out most of my thyroid and left just enough. And the body is an amazing thing. It's recovered, and I'm on no medication at all.
Yeah,
that's extraordinary.
They tried to do that with me. Yeah, they tried to do that with me initially as well, but unfortunately, I couldn't keep any part of it, yeah.
All right. Well, look, ladies, it's a great cause, and thank you so much for lending your weight to it today.
Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for supporting it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, girls, and we'll be right back after this.